5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. There was a story this morning about a young lady. I think she's in her early 20s, and I think she's in Denmark. And she lost about 126 pounds, I think. I think she lost 126 pounds over the course of 4 years, just so I say that. And now she's like a spokesmodel for some sportswear company. And if you look at the before and after, it's like two different people, completely different people.
Gosh.
So that kind of is a great way to segue into our next guest. She's been with us before, and I paid attention to her before, Robin.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I gotta get onto something. I mean, I gotta get onto a program. This is maybe, you know, at what's today, the 20th day of January? So 20 days ago, I was supposed to start a diet, right? But I didn't. Dr. Felicia Stoler is on the phone. She's known as America's health and wellness expert, a registered dietitian, nutritionist, an exercise physiologist, and the vice president of the Greater New York chapter of the American College of Sports Medicine. And I love her sweater. On the back cover, I think I told her that once before. Living Skinny in Fat Genes, Genes, the healthy way to lose weight and feel great. Good morning, doctor. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm okay. Where are you?
I'm in New Jersey.
How's the weather in New Jersey today?
It's a little chilly, not gonna lie.
Well, if you close that sweater,
I think I need to move to a warmer climate.
Yeah, but if you close that sweater, look at that sweater. It's wide open. Look at that. So do you have fat genes? That's kind of a personal question.
Yeah, I mean, that's That's like the whole idea, behind the book is, I grew up in a family with, overweight people, fat people,
Yeah. So why? I mean, why?
Why? Because they overeat.
Well,
I mean, that's really
okay. They overeat. Okay,
that's really it. I mean, we talk about fat genes and the whole notion of fat genes, and people like to blame their genes. And I tell a very cute little story in the book about, a presentation I once saw where there's a cartoon and a guy sitting across from the doctor. He says, "Hey, doc, fat genes run in the family," and the doctor goes, "Nope, nobody in your family runs." I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And I think about that too. I used to say, I have family where there's a lot of fat genes, and there's a family history of heart disease, so I think that's in my genetics. But the longer I keep living and learning, the more I've really I look at what's out in the science, is that really it's about your habits and behaviors. I look at 1 or 2 generations ago, how did my grandparents eat? How do my parents eat? What are the food choices they make? What are the food choices that I make? So thank goodness I got into this field in my late 20s, early 30s, because I think I've been able to change my health outcome as a result of making significant changes to my food intake and my physical activity.
Okay, so do I translate everything you just said to mean there's no such thing as fat genes?
Basically, yes. I hate to say it, but yes.
Yeah, okay.
We live in a society where we like to blame things instead of taking ownership and personal responsibility for the things that we do or don't do.
Okay, so I can buy that. That actually rings true, and I don't want to have any excuses for being overweight. So it's the food, the amount of food, the number of times we eat per day. Which is it? Because you hear so many different things. Some people will say make it all no carbs. Some people will say eat 5 times or 6 times a day.
I'm a big advocate of eating throughout the day, because what happens is if your blood sugar levels tank and they drop really significantly, then you're going to ramp up your cravings for foods and you're going to get super hungry. I sometimes even with people that I work with that have disordered eating or people that like overeat, we talk about hunger and satiety cues and scales and knowing when to eat. So and I always there's that term when people are hangry, when you're
yes,
you're
I love that term.
You're so hungry.
That's me every day at 2 o'clock.
I know I am that hangry person, and don't get between like my mouth and that food when I'm in that way, because I will, if your hand's there, I'll eat it.
Right.
So that's why I really do advocate eating throughout the day, so that you don't overeat at your next sort of feeding opportunity, like we're animals at the zoo. Like at that next feeding time, we don't want the lions to overeat because we starved them all day long. So that's really how I really like, to think about that. And, then the question is, what is it that you're eating throughout the day? You should not be eliminating carbohydrates. In fact, we need carbohydrates to feed our brain, which basically regulates our whole body. The question is, how much do you eat? So, the people that are going to tell me, like, I eat a whole loaf of bread when it's in front of me because, they're otherwise restricting it. So, how to have a nice relationship with those starchy carbohydrates and portion control is one thing, and for those folks that still have a hard time with portion control or just because they, are looking for another tool in their toolbox, I highly recommend using something like a white kidney bean extract, which is a branded ingredient called Phase 2, which is found in a number of supplements, and they're sort of like in the pill form. There's a powder form too, but now is a nutraceutical company. They make it. Natural's another one. It can be found in GNC has a branded product, and so does Vitamin Shop. So it can be found, all over the place. So you take this about 20 to 30 minutes before your meal, and it actually blocks up to 65% of the starchy carbohydrates in that meal from being absorbed into your bloodstream and actually going into your bloodstream. So basically you're, chewing and eating and swallowing, and it goes right through from your mouth to your stomach, to your small intestine, to your large intestine, and out the other end.
Well, you do different kinds of observations. I always thought overweight and obese was the same thing, but you say that Latino women rank first as being the most overweight among women in the United States, and African American women rank first in being most obese among women in the United States. I always thought those two terms were the same.
Well, okay, so overweight and obesity are clinically different. So when we look at being overweight and obese, we do use the BMI numbers, which some people don't like to use. It's not about body fatness. It doesn't tell you your percent body fat. What it does is it puts you it stratifies you into categories. So, for example, somebody whose BMI is over 25, right? So 26 to 29.99, they're considered overweight. Anything where your BMI is 30 or over, you're considered obese. And, what I do like about it and why I do defend it at times is for the most part, it's pretty accurate. A short, stocky person who's very muscular might skew in the overweight or obese category, but that's the exception, not the rule. So for most people, in terms of making weight recommendations, instead of saying you need to be X amount of pounds, I like to think of it as BMI allows for a much larger range of what's considered an appropriate weight.
When you talk about the block, I want to ask you about the white bean extract.
Yeah.
Does that mean, that if I ate 300 calories and I took that white bean extract, that 300 calories would not end up in my body,
you mean 300 calories of just starchy carb?
I don't know, like to say
like if your pasta. Like, so let's say waffles, right? Let's say you just ate some waffles.
Waffles,
right?
Okay, waffles, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right, so 65% of the caloric, load of that waffle, right? So it's, I'm really bad with numbers, so it's a little bit more than 150,
okay.
Right? What would 65% of 300 be?
Oh, 65. That'd be 65 times 3, Robin. 180, 195.
Right, around 180. Right. So about 180, 195 of those calories would not actually get absorbed into your bloodstream.
Oh wow! So it does actually cut the calories then.
Yes, it does.
Oh my gosh!
It cuts the calories by blocking the absorption because it deactivates the enzyme that helps it become absorbed. And there's a lot of clinical research behind it. So how cool is that?
Now, is that calories?
Not just because I said so.
Is that calories or fat calories? Because I know we see that on products sometimes. Calories.
Okay, well, so this is talking about carbohydrate calories. So if a waffle is not consumed with butter, then there is not necessarily any fat in it. So fats. So fatty acids are a completely different chemical structure than carbohydrates, and the same thing with amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. So each of those are very different. So what the phase 2 is blocking are the starchy carbohydrate polysaccharide molecules.
We need to take a little break. When we come back from the break, I wanted to talk to you about the mind over matter part of this. Like, what's the mindset we need to get into? The lady I started off the intro with is a young lady in Denmark who lost whatever a lot of weight. It took 4 years, which means she had to get the mindset and then never get off that mindset, right? So, how does one do that? Let's find out on the other side. We'll take a little break and be right back on The Source.
Hi, my name is Erica Olstein. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine. So, you used to be wired, now you're just tired. You used to be thin, but now you're the heaviest you've ever been. You don't necessarily always have to take a med if your thyroid is playing dead. If you have a thyroid disorder, an acupuncture visit may be in order. Come visit me, your primary care physician, Erica Olstein, at A Better You Healthcare. Call me at 352-615-5566.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene and Debbie would like to thank you for another successful year of business. We want to wish everybody a safe, healthy, and prosperous 2017. We are ready to be of service with our pasture mowing. 352-629-2440. Locally owned and operated. Experienced and reliable. Commercial and residential. Licensed and insured. Powell Gene, G-E-N-E at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. 352-629-2440. Proud United States veteran.
Hi, my name is Erica Olstein. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine. So, you used to be wired, now you're just tired. You used to be thin, but now you're the heaviest you've ever been. You don't necessarily always have to take a med if your thyroid is playing dead. If you have a thyroid disorder, an acupuncture visit may be in order. Come visit me, your primary care physician, Erica Olstein, at A Better You Healthcare. Call me at 352-615-5566.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
If you or a loved one is suffering with knee, shoulder, neck or back pain, plantar fasciitis, peripheral neuropathy, and even tennis elbow, and would like to learn about how there are treatments that may benefit you, go to drjuanyordan.com, then listen in on the first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. and hear from health professionals doing these treatments and patients who have benefited from them. First and third Thursdays, 10 a.m. Next Generation MD, right here on The Source.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
All right, 18 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. 20 days into the new year. Did you stick to your resolution to lose weight? And if not, then I guess the good news is it's never too late. Never too late to start. There's no reason it had to be January 1st anyway. That's just the thing. Dr. Felicia Stoler has helped us out before. She's helping us out again. Her book is called Living Skinny in Fat Jeans, The Healthy Way to Lose Weight and Feel Great. So the one thing, the psychological part of this is something I wanted to ask you to talk about a little bit, if you could, Doctor. How do we change our mindset so that we stick to it?
Well, first of all, cater to your cravings, right? So, cravings are about something that, your body's requesting some food for the day, right, or some nutrients, or it feels like it needs something. Usually it tends to be that we're craving something sweet when we haven't had enough carbohydrates. It's not usually like, oh, hey, I feel like I'm craving a steak because I've got low iron stores, but usually it's more, it's a little bit more simple, usually like your blood sugar level drops, so you feel like you want something sweet to eat. And then, another thing is not to demonize food groups. So, for example, sometimes people will say, oh, I'm not having any dairy, I'm not having any any white food. I'm not going to have any, rice or pasta. And, that's just making more rules than you really need. And the truth is, you can eat a little bit of everything, as long as it's in moderation.
That's good news.
Balance that with physical activity. Yeah, good news. Like, people always say to me, when they hang out with me, like, oh, I can't believe you ate those carbs. I'm like, I eat lots of carbs. I'm an athlete. I've been an athlete my whole life. I'm always eating carbohydrates. I just don't, and I'm like, well, it sucks for you because I like that stuff. So, there's that. In terms of mind over matter, rule number 3, slow and steady wins the race. Again, not doing anything to excess, doing things, in smaller increments, whether it be, saying that, hey, I'm going to drink water now. Okay, so add 1 glass of water every day, for a week. And then if you can handle that and you do that, then the next week add 2 glasses of water. When it comes to exercise, don't make a commitment that you're going to work out an hour every day, 7 days of the week. Maybe it's like, let's start off with a half an hour. Can you do that 1 day a week? Can you do that 2 days a week? Once you master that, then you add on and build from that. And then the other thing is, what can you swap a bad habit with? What can you, change out, instead of, so a bad habit could be, something that you eat, right? So
me. I can tell you mine. Mine is the end of the day. The end of the day. I will make a sandwich all the time, and it's every day I say, oh my gosh,
whether you're hungry or not.
Exactly. It's like it took the place of smoking, because I used to do a cigar, and and I'm sure you've heard that before. People do that. I don't know. It's just, how do you do?
Well, so can you eat an apple? Can you eat a piece of fruit? Can you go for a walk? Can you do something else? So swap that out.
I'll go for a walk.
Do some jumping jacks. Ready? Do the plank. Ready? Do the plank challenge, do something.
Is the food pyramid that's used in the United States, is that
What did you call it? The pyramid? I haven't seen that in a long time.
I know. They probably have a different name for it, but they
use the My Plate is what has been current, and who knows what's going to happen with our new administration. May all just be. I think that plate's going to shatter, but it could be dropped and shattered. I don't know.
I guess my question is, do other countries have something similar than we have then? In that respect?
Actually gonna. You know what's so funny that you mentioned the pyramid? Every other country uses a pyramid except us, because in our country we couldn't figure out how to use the pyramid, right? And we had to make excuses why it didn't work. Actually, when I first got into the field, we were still using the pyramid, and the pyramid meaning like what's at the bottom should be the foundation of your diet. But I can make it real simple for people. What we should be doing is eating more plant-based foods. First and foremost, eating foods closer to the way they're found in nature, eating more plant-based foods, eating less animal proteins, animal-sourced proteins, and watching your fat intake. It's really, to me, it's that simple.
But now some people have some things that they need to not have the green vegetables, thus they're getting thus they're not getting vitamin K.
Oh, you mean like people
anymore.
that are on vitamin K? And, yeah. Okay. So here's I know that because my husband used to be on a blood thinner, and they tell people that are taking anticoagulant therapy, not to have any green vegetables, and that's actually, I think, a very big mistake. And doctors, instead of saying absolutely don't ever eat greens, what they should be saying is eat some. But what happens when you're on those medications? You're actually supposed to go and have your blood tested regularly. And in our home, we eat a lot of those green vegetables. And my husband always ate those while he was on those medications, and his blood work always came back okay. So I think it's like because doctors don't know how to really advise people about what they should be eating, and they get a big whopping 1-hour lecture in all their years of medical training, so they really can't speak to that properly. But just because you're on the number of people that are on things like Coumadin or other, anticoagulants is, a lot smaller. Don't make excuses to not eat any vegetables because you're on those medications.
By the way, Jell-O is a meat byproduct.
Jello, gelatin,
isn't it?
Yeah,
isn't it?
Gelatin. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. That thickening agent, right?
Yeah.
Right? We'll just leave Jello as is. I'd like to just think of it as that, clear jiggly stuff.
The book is more than the book is everything. The book is about exercise. The book is about eating right. And as Dr. Stoler told you, there's also the white kidney bean extract. Am I saying it right?
Extract, right? Phase 2, yes. White kidney bean extract. It's it's a carb blocker, carb controller. Yes.
All right. So if you've been listening and saying, "Oh my gosh, okay, I want to do this," 20 days into January, I'm not worried about January 1st. That's 20 days ago. I'm not going to wait a whole year before I start something. I'm going to start it right now. I have one copy of the book that was sent to me, so call me if you want the copy that was sent to me. The number is 622-9622, but we need other information if we want to buy it, so let me ask Dr. Stoler to give us that. Do you have a website we can go to?
Yeah, you can go to FeliciaStoler.com, or you can go to, to get the book, you can go to BarnesandNoble.com or Amazon.com, and, I'm on all social media, so anybody who'd like to follow me, I'm on every single social media platform.
I love your phrase, eating intuitively.
Yeah. Well, it's like, think about what you really should be eating.
But you should be.
Should be, right?
Yeah.
And then mindfulness, right? Like, are you mindful when you're eating your meal? Do you chew your food, or are you inhaling it? Do you gobble it down quickly?
I inhale it. I'm like a dog. I am. I eat food the way a dog eats food.
Oh, that's not good.
I eat food the way a dog eats food when there's another dog in the room. You ever see that?
Yeah.
Do you recommend the vitamin B12 shots?
Not necessarily, not unless you think you need it. I mean, people that have the greatest, issue with B12 are people that are avoiding foods that have B12. So vegans sometimes have issues because B12 is found in animal foods. So, that's where, there are sometimes some issues with that.
Do you ever have people contact you, like, after they've implemented some of the things you advise? And, I'm guessing you've had a lot of patients that you work with one-on-one, right?
Oh, I've had so many patients over the years, yes. So what were you going to ask me, if they've called to say what, that it didn't work?
No. To show you the before and after pictures.
No. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I am often amazed that, and I love it when people tell me that I've changed their life. Like, how cool is that? I changed your life. I made your life better. You're healthier. I made
That's right. That is
what's
cool.
seemingly overwhelming, like, really simple and easy. That I love.
And that only takes one person, and then that person might generate it within the family, and the whole family lifestyle might change because of that, for the better.
Right, absolutely. And listen, and there is nothing that, that most people do that the whole family can't do. So I often remind people that it's not like your special foods that you're eating. Everybody in your family can eat that way.
I just sent you a friend request on Facebook for what it's worth. Do you have more than one page?
I have a professional page also, Felicia D. Stoler.
Oh, okay. D.
You can follow me. Yeah. You can either follow me. Yeah, I mean, I've always used Facebook for business, predominantly for business. So.
Oh, I got you. Now I'm going to like that one. Okay. I liked it, and I friended you, whatever you do. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. No, thank you. So I hope we have you on again.
Thank you.
Here's what I hope. All right.
You're wonderful.
Here's what I hope. I don't mind telling everybody.
I'm sorry. I just had a channel, a little comedian in there. Yeah.
Everybody who knows me knows that I could use to lose a lot of weight. So I'm going to hopefully have you back on, and then I'll give you my report. Okay, I'm going to use your book.
Don't give away my book. You need to use it.
I am going to give it away. Yeah, somebody really wants it. I can buy it. I can get it as an ebook. I'll use my Kindle, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes.
All right. So I'm lazy. I'd rather sit in my chair with my sandwich and read the book. Doctor, thank you for being on the air with us. Always fun.
Oh, my pleasure. Have a wonderful day.
All right, we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Friday, a partly sunny, warm day with a high of 80 to 84. Partly cloudy and mild Friday night, low 58 to 62. Partly sunny and very warm for Saturday, high 80 to 84. For Sunday, mostly cloudy, breezy and warm with some strong thunderstorms likely in the afternoon, the high 77 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. In the nation's capital, dignitaries arriving for President-elect Trump's inauguration. The President and First Lady welcoming the Trumps for tea at the White House. The couple's in departing for the Capitol. Meanwhile, protesters on the National Mall.
It's been rather disorganized in that people are just showing up and joining the crowds. As the morning goes on, these crowds will get bigger, with several thousand expected to be fanned out throughout D.C. The largest demonstration, that will take place tomorrow. The Women's March will likely draw 200,000 protesters to our nation's capital.
Fox News' Kevin Rincon. Rescuers in central Italy believe there are survivors in the hotel buried by an avalanche. And the man seen on tape walking off with a bucket of gold flakes worth more than $1.5 million from an armored truck in New York City has been caught in Ecuador. The gold has not been recovered. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. See website for details.
Need some extra cash today? Do you have bad credit or maxed out credit cards? If so, turn your radio up. 35cash.com is one of the nation's largest personal loan networks with over 50 different lenders. Now you can get a personal loan for up to $5,000 with any type of credit discreetly from your computer or smartphone and with no paperwork to send in. That's right, no paperwork whatsoever. Your cash will hit your bank account as soon as tomorrow, as our lenders have millions of dollars to lend regardless of your credit history. Visit 35cash.com and you can have up to $5,000 in no time. Just have a checking account and a regular source of income, and you can get the loan you need now, regardless of your credit. Go to 35cash.com from your smartphone or computer to get the cash you need. Visit 35cash.com. Type www.35cash.com directly into the address bar. That's 35cash.com. 35cash.com.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Here are today's headlines from The Source, WOCA. An Atlas V launch that was scheduled for yesterday has been rescheduled for this evening. The new launch window is set for this evening at 7:42 p.m. until 8:22 p.m. The rocket was supposed to launch at 7:46 p.m. yesterday, but an instrumentation issue forced ULA to delay the launch until the end of the window at 8:26 p.m. Then, an aircraft entered the restricted airspace. The aircraft entered the restricted area with minutes to go before launch. The nearly 200-tall rocket will carry a $1 billion space-based infrared system, GEO-3 satellite, into orbit for the U.S. Air Force. SBIRS is designed to provide surveillance capabilities for national security missions. The goal is to track hundreds of missile launches worldwide each year. Once deployed, the satellite will fly in geosynchronous orbit some 22,000 miles up as it scours the Earth for potential threats. Two other SBIRS satellites, SBIRS GEO-1 and SBIRS GEO-2, were launched in 2011 and 2013, respectively. A Lake County teacher was arrested this week after a 16-year-old female student told authorities that he inappropriately touched her. Authorities say Brian Wall turned himself in Wednesday on a warrant for simple battery. Wall taught language arts and coached track and cross country at Tavares High School. Authorities say one of his female students claimed she stayed after school to make up work for his class on November 15th. The student said that's when Wall hugged her, asked her to sit on his lap, and then touched the outside of her thigh before lifting her skirt and touching her butt. The girl came forward during an active investigation into inappropriate texts and pictures allegedly exchanged between Wall and juvenile female students and athletes, according to a Sheriff's Department arrest warrant. School officials said Wall's last day was Tuesday. Wall was hired in 2014. The Star Banner is reporting that 2 pedestrians were struck and killed yesterday in 2 unrelated accidents. Both incidents occurred on US 441. The first report from the Florida Highway Patrol identifies the victim as 28-year-old Christopher Michael Wright of Ocala. The report states that at around 6:30 p.m., a 2016 Mazda driven by 33-year-old Grace Angeline Baker of Bellevue was traveling south in the inside lane of South US 441 when the front of her vehicle struck Wright. Wright was taken to Ocala Regional Medical Center where he died from his injuries. The second accident happened shortly after 9 p.m. in the 7000 block of Pine Avenue. The second victim, a male who is not identified, was crossing the road from the Dollar General store and had crossed the southbound lanes. He was in the northbound lanes when a car that was traveling in the right lane hit him. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. Lancelot Armstrong shot 2 Broward County deputies, killing one of them. Donald Williams kidnapped and murdered an 81-year-old woman in Marion County, and William Copshaw was sentenced to die for killing his wife in the Ocala National Forest because she slept with another man. The Florida Supreme Court upheld the murder convictions for all 3 men, but it overturned their death sentences and ordered new hearings for the death row inmates. It's the latest fallout from the Hearst decision by the U.S. Supreme Court that has brought executions to a standstill in Florida over the past year. All 3 convicted killers could still face the death sentence with the new hearings, only the sentence will have to pass a more stringent standard. And Planet Hollywood is just weeks away from opening its newly redesigned restaurant at Disney Springs. A report indicates that a digital screen inside the restaurant gives diners the illusion that they are inside a fish tank. Chef Guy Fieri inspired this sandwich and burgers menu, and the restaurant will also feature huge, extreme milkshakes. And those are the headlines from The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Friday, a partly sunny, warm day with a high of 80 to 84. Partly cloudy and mild Friday night, low 58 to 62. Partly sunny and very warm for Saturday, high 80 to 84. For Sunday, mostly cloudy, breezy and warm with some strong thunderstorms likely in the afternoon, the high 77 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Palm Garden of Ocala leads in the area of orthopedic care with proven outcomes. Planning to have a new hip or knee joint due to arthritis or as the result of a fall? Palm Garden may be the answer. Guests appreciate the services of highly trained therapists and state-of-the-art equipment. And if you pre-register, you can secure a private room at no extra charge by mentioning this ad. Palm Garden makes no bones about it. They provide the best in orthopedic care. Call 854-6262. That's 854-6262.
Today in Florida Ag News from the Southeast AgNet, it's been announced that President-elect Donald Trump has picked former Georgia Governor Sonny Perdue to be his agriculture secretary. Perdue, who was a part of Trump's agricultural advisory team, is a veterinarian and was governor of Georgia from 2003 to 2011. Prior to that, he served in the Georgia Senate for 10 years. In an interview with Perdue just 4 years ago, he told us about how his life experiences have helped him with his career.
Obviously, being governor for 8 years was a great thrill. It broadened my perspective to a great degree. I've gone back into the ag business, and we have experience from that perspective, and each one has a responsibility to speak from their own experiences and perspective and bring their life skills and the things they've learned to that point.
Perdue grew up on a row crop farm in central Georgia and has owned agricultural businesses, thus is very familiar with the industry.
Agriculture is not one thing. It's not necessarily production. It's processing. It's that real whole food chain that many people are discovering now from farm to table. And the good thing about farming and the economy, farmers are great for the economy because they will ripple that money all the way through the economy. They're going to buy stuff.
American Farm Bureau Federation President Zippy Duval strongly endorsed the nomination of Perdue, saying Perdue will provide a strong voice that agriculture needs.
Sonny Perdue and I became friends when he was governor. I was president of Georgia Farm Bureau. He told me, and he told our farmers, you don't have to come in the back door anymore, you come in our front door. He was very good with Georgia when it comes to trade. I've been on trade treaties with him, so he was good about bringing industry to Georgia. And he was always good about promoting agricultural products. He was a good administrator. And I can talk about Sonny because I had a personal relationship with him.
Many in agriculture were pleased to hear that Perdue was Trump's pick to be agriculture secretary. So now it's up to the Senate to confirm Perdue as the 31st Secretary of Agriculture. Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
Whether you're Starting out in your career or ready to make a change, being a commercial pilot is within your reach. The FAA has predicted that in the next few years, the number of planes in the sky will double, and that means a lot more jobs in aviation. Ocala Aviation has teamed up with an accredited university, enabling you to get a college degree in aviation while training to be a commercial pilot. And with options like financial aid, grants, and scholarships, it's never been a better time to get your new career in aviation started today. For more information, call me at Ocala Aviation, 352-861-7484.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WUCA.